Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. We're going to get started. My name is Sammy. Thank you again for being here. I wanted to introduce Micah Peters, the CEO of Clearwater Homes, to start off our evening. If you can give a round of applause. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Sammy. You guys, Sammy put this whole thing together while I just kind of continued my day-to-day operations. So, Sammy, wonderful job. Thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody for coming here. We're really honored to have the Salt Lake City Council. And I'll keep my remarks brief because we have a number of candidates for mayor that have to get to another speaking event tonight. So, Aaron and Stan, David, Garbett, thanks for coming, you guys.
We're going to come up with you.
Come on up. Come on up. Yeah. Chris, come on up. Chris, we yeah, right.
Hello, everyone.
Wow. Look at this. So, guys, tonight isn't about Clearwater Homes. It's about the Marmalade community. We've been working on this project for 3.5 years, and when we started, I could grow a 2-day beard and it was still brown. Today I look like Santa Claus. So, it's been a project of perseverance, and we've had to transcend a lot of challenging problems. But the RDA has just hung in there with us for the whole time. I just really want to express our gratitude to the entire RDA staff. If you can believe it, since we started this project, we've had 3 different RDA directors, and I want to start from DJ Baxter, thank you, sir, Justin Belleville, and Danny Walz. Quite often when you have staff change, you have vision change, and the collaboration with the RDA never changed. They stuck with us and were incredibly patient through the whole process. So we can't thank you enough. Our representatives, Ed Butterfield started with us. I don't think he's here tonight. And we have Kara Lindsley, who's just been absolutely incredible and very patient. Very patient with me. I can go to teddy bear to polar bear quickly, and she always is right there with me, so it's no problem. Mayor Biskupski, she couldn't be here tonight, but we just want to have special thanks for her for keeping the project moving. Laura Fritz, and especially my financial partners in the project. Adam Siegman from the Watt family and the Watt Company. Adam, thank you, sir. Adam and I laughed that this project was built on persistence and eggs Benedict. Because we had 5 breakfasts where we negotiated this deal, and after the 4th time I ordered eggs Benedict, he just looked at me and he's like, "What are you doing?" Because he has a mortal fear of egg yolks, so he never orders egg Benedict. And I said to him, I just said, "Listen, if there is a cauldron of hollandaise sauce in the kitchen, I can't focus on business." Thanks, Adam. Of course, a huge thanks to Blaylock and Partners, Kevin Blaylock, and Sean and Kelly. They stuck with us on this project for a really long time. And Kevin and his team have such a distinct vision of how to do architecture in Salt Lake City. We set out on the project and we were doing a massing study, and the block was looking a little monolithic and derivative, and Kevin's team regrouped and came back with some ideas that created what we believe to be the most iconic building on the multifamily side in Salt Lake City. And I'll just talk about a few of those features before I hand the mic over. If you look at the front of the building, we have these light boxes. And in typical multifamily projects, one in particular that's 3 blocks southwest of us, that has 3 miles of dark hallway with no natural light. Kevin's team wanted to transmit natural light into our hallways. These light boxes go all the way through the building. So there's either a single or a 2-story interface with commercial storefront glass at those points where they interface with the community hallways. So it's going to be a really dynamic experience for our users. There's numerous other features that Kevin and his team imported into this project that are really market-making, and you'll experience at a later time if you walk through the actual physical product. Lastly, I want to thank Loci. Are you guys here, Mike and Grant? Mike and Grant came on and we went and walked the Fourth West rooftop deck, which is a huge PT deck on an incredible project around the corner. We've got swimming pools and workout facilities. And while we loved the massive space and the views, Mike came back and suggested that we just flip the script and we go from hardscape to softscape. What we ended up creating was a 30,000 square foot PT deck in our project that has a deciduous forest in the community, so that our user experience and our tenant experience is an emotional one in the space that really connects them to where they live. So it'll be, again, a really unique feature in Salt Lake City multifamily. And as this video plays, when we're done speaking, you guys can kind of see that deciduous forest. So philosophically, it's a sea change from what we have in the marketplace now. And Mike and Grant, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And lastly, I'm going to hand the mic over to Erin, because she has to get out of here.
She already left.
Oh,
Get out of here.
Erin left. Okay. So then next up is Danny. Danny, you ready to go? You hear? Thanks, everybody.
I gotta come up as part of the initial charge the stage. So
Charge, Micah.
charge Micah. Thank you very much, Micah. Thank you everyone for coming here. My name is Danny Walz. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the RDA. Micah already did a very good job of going through and thanking our staff, but on behalf of the RDA and the Department of Economic Development, I also wanted to make sure I personally thank Tara Lindsley, as well as Susan Lundmark and Amanda Holte for all the work they've done on this project, putting this together, as well as the RDA staff as a whole. I think this project is probably a rite of passage for a lot of RDA staff members, that if you didn't work on this project at one time in your career, then you are not a true RDA member. So this one's unique, as Micah said, that we're kind of, we've seen 3 RDA directors in this process. So I definitely want to thank DJ and Justin for all the work they've done. And the irony that I have is the current director of the RDA, I may or may not, in a different life, been the one who started buying all the properties that have become this project. And so I don't want to get into the timeline of that, but that dates me a little bit and speaks to the fact of how long we've been waiting to see this happen. So thank you, Micah, for that. We're excited that the project has a name, the Harvested Marmalade, because within the RDA, we affectionately call it Marmalade Parcels 2 and 3. And Mike informed us that doesn't really sell very well in terms of the development world, so we allowed him to change that name. But that speaks also to how much time we put into this and the evolution of these projects over time as we put it together. So I want to thank you for that. We are excited within the RDA for the role that this is going to play on this property and this block for the overall project. Excited for what it's going to do for the city, and we just want to see it get done. So glad to see people are already out there starting to work, so we're excited. Thank you again. I'm going to turn it over now to Council Chair.
Is it
Charlie Luke?
It's to you, baby.
All right. Okay, well, thank you all for being here. Since there are so many of us, I'm not going to say a lot, but I do want to say that I am currently in my 8th year. One of the first projects that I was faced with as a brand new council member in 2012 was this project. And so seeing, hearing what the name is going to be, seeing that it's finally moving forward, I feel like it is also a rite of passage for me. This is something that has been long awaited, and I think that the time that it's taken to put this together is going to pay off. And I think when we watch the video that Mike has put together, and when you see what has been envisioned for this site, it is going to be well worth the wait. So I also want to thank all of the RDA staff, current staff, former staff, who have worked on this project. I want to thank other staff at the city. I really want to thank Stan Penfold for his work and vision as a council member representing this area for so long. His fingerprints truly are all over this project. So thanks to Stan and his work. Erin wanted me to mention before she left that that this really is going to be the crown jewel of this development with the market and the attraction that it will bring. Not just, it's going to help the library. The library is an attraction in and of itself, but the market, the rest of the mixed use is something that has been lacking in this area for a very, very long time. So I want to thank Micah and all of his partners for this, but truly I want to thank the community for your patience. This has been a long project that's been a long time coming. But we're finally to the point now where we're going to start seeing things, and it is going to be a great benefit not only for the Marmalade district but for Salt Lake City as a whole. So thank you all for your patience, your perseverance, and all of your work.
Thank you.
So Stan Penfold was here, just so everybody knows, he also had to leave for the mayoral debate, so I just wanted to point that out because you gave him a shout out, people were looking for him. But I was not a part of the city, really, back until a couple of years ago. I only became the chair last year, or the beginning of this year. But Amanda, who is part of our RDA staff, put together some really amazing talking points. And one of the talking points was that this project, as everybody has mentioned, has been going since 1996, which was the year I graduated, although I don't look it. And I was like, wow, that's a little bit of time. So talk about perseverance from all of you, and congratulations. The RDA has, as everybody has said, has been working on this project for a long time, but more than the amount of time that it has taken, it's the amount of passion that has been put into this project. As Danny mentioned, he worked for the RDA some years ago and started buying up all of the land, and he's very proud of himself for that. And he should be, because we wouldn't be here today without it. And I was lucky enough to be able to go on a trip recently with Micah, and we were talking about this project and the amount of passion that he exudes when he talks about this project is unbelievable, right? Because he just is able to give every ounce of what has been put in over the last 20-some years into what is about to happen. And I am so excited. I was so grateful to be able to talk with you about this and be able to see that passion and see what is going to happen. And I think when you get somebody, a developer, a community, a council, an RDA staff, together like this to create the passion and continue the perseverance for over 20 years, only good things can come out of it. And I am so excited to see what's going to happen. I do have just one thing I have to say. I saw a little preview of the video and I didn't see a friendship swing in there, Micah. Micah owes me a friendship swing. So in the park, we're in a community that very much needs some gathering space, that needs connectivity, that needs the ability to reactivate and be together. This is what we envision. This is what Micah and RDA and the council has envisioned. And I just look forward to coming here the day that we get to cut the ribbon. So congratulations, and also thank you to the RDA staff, seriously. Without you, we would not be here.
Thank you.
You can still stand wherever you want. So, just, hi, everybody get up here. So just a few short months ago, we were just a couple feet this way on Arctic Court opening the Arctic Court bungalow, which was a small single family house that the RDA renovated. And today we're looking at this, ready to groundbreak on this amazing project. And as the council member that represents District 3, which is Marmalade and Avenues, I couldn't be more excited about this. This is something that is just less than a block from my home, and is, I think, part of what makes Marmalade and Capitol Hill and the Avenues so such an amazing part of the city is that you have these small historic homes that were built by the pioneers that are, have so much character next to or in the same neighborhood as projects like these that are going to be some of the most contemporary and new and exciting buildings in Salt Lake City and in Utah. And I love that about District 3. In addition, what I love about this project is that it shows that it's a symbol also of the economic diversity of District 3. And that economic diversity is something that is going to help make sure that our neighborhoods continue to thrive moving forward. And it's something that I'm really excited to see as not only a council member, but as a neighbor of this project. So kudos to Clearwater for working with the Historic Landmarks Commission and the RDA Design Review Committee on review and approval of the construction for the Harvest Project, and for agreeing to complete the needed infrastructure for the new development of the block, including the public park that will be here. And again, I'm so excited for this to get started. If there's a way to build the market first, I really feel like we could complete or start paying back some investors very quickly. Me alone and my propensity to wait till the last minute to shop, I anticipate spending a lot of money here. I can't wait to get started. So on behalf of District 3, welcome to the neighborhood and thank you so much.
Just a few words. I'm the newest council member for District 4, but I started my career in the planning division in 2006, and before that I was an intern, and I remember the vision that the planning division had in working with the RDA a long time ago. We're talking about a long time ago, and it's so nice to see it come to fruition. And I know it took so long, but I think the product that we're going to get here is going to be spectacular. And I'm so happy that they had this RFP process and we're going to get to work with Clearwater. So thank you so much for your perseverance. I understand firsthand how things work, and hopefully you will do great in this neighborhood, and it needs it. So thank you. Congratulations.
Kevin, would you like to say some words?
I'm good.
Are you good? I will tell you a funny Kevin story. The fabric of this community is deeply woven, and you come to a community council meeting in Marmalade or West Capitol, and you're used to, a dozen people, some opinionated, some just there to listen. We show up to these, and there's like 50 or 60 people, right? And so you're kind of taken back by the sheer volume of people that show up. So Kevin and I show up to the first one to talk about this project, and we're queuing up to kind of make a presentation, and this woman who's deeply opinionated, and clearly there's no accountant for taste, stands up and goes, "I just want to make sure you guys aren't going to build anything that looks like this library." And Kevin and I, she didn't realize Kevin was the architect of this library.
I was going to tell that story.
Telling it for you, right? So, instead of being offended that his baby was just called ugly, Kevin just laughed, and he's kind of used to it. He gets beat up in public meetings all the time, right? So, anyway, funny story about Kevin. The last thing I'll say is that, we didn't want to do the traditional golden shovel photo op. So, as a homage to Pride Month, we changed the colors of shovels. And we're going to go downstairs and do the photo op with all you fine folks. But you don't have to come down for it if you don't want. Please stay and drink and eat all this fine food. And one last shout out to Blended Table for all the great food and drink here tonight. Thanks, guys. What's that?
Artist in the house.
The
Shout out
artist?
to Stella. Stella painted your shovels.
Oh, yeah. My daughter painted And then just one last thought on my card of thank yous, and then I'll stop talking. Someone who doesn't ever get any kind of public accolades, Katie Lewis at the city, spends so much time on our legal documents, and it is a pleasure to have in-house counsel at the city that is sophisticated and quick and just really amiable. So please make sure Katie knows how much we appreciate her. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.